very good afternoon and welcome to M News Live from our news studios here in Ngwa, Adugono, and also streaming live on Facebook and YouTube Manata TV. GH, my name is Margaret Kado. Coming up in the major headlines.
The Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, says Health Minister Kweku Agyeman-Manu needs empathy and not chastisement. In the world of business, energy expert Kojo Poku says private sector participation will address all ECG's issues. In the foreign front, the Australian capital Canberra is going into one-week lockdown after recording its first COVID case in more than a year.
This and many more stories, including business, entertainment, and foreign news, makes the headlines. Now to the details. The Minister of Finance, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, says instead of calls for the resignation of the Health Minister Kweku Agyeman-Manu over the SV vaccines deal, Ghanaians should be more empathetic towards him.
According to him, Mr. Agyeman-Manu's judgment in the deal was in the interest of Ghanaians, especially that the lives of citizens were at stake. There have been heightened calls for the health minister to resign or be sacked by President Akufo-Addo over the boat deal. But speaking in an interview Wednesday on Accra-based radio station Asase Radio, the finance minister, who has also been criticized for his role in the deal, described as unfair the treatment being meted out to the health minister. According to him, Ghanaians must move on, especially after the Sheikh agreed to refund $2.47 million, which is about 14.4 million Ghana cedis to the country. Mr. Ofori-Atta said to be so unsympathetic to somebody who felt that what he can do to ensure that there is continuity and to sit not to comfortably chastise him without empathizing with him. He is empathetic of him and expects others who also realize the type of pressure that he was under at the time and his commitment to ensuring that Ghanaians are safe. He, however, gave the assurance that his ministry will retrieve the monies which were paid to Sheikh Maktoum. Meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo has said the health minister has endured a lot of suffering at the ministry but remains resolute. Speaking in the Bono region on Tuesday, during his two-day tour of the region, President Akufo-Addo singled out the health minister as one of the illustrious sons from the Bono region who has served well in his administration.
Leadership of the Health Services Workers Union has sent a strong indication that it is going beyond negotiation for better condition of service for prioritizing welfare of members.
UN Secretary of the Health Services Workers Union, Franklin Owusu-Ansah, disclosed this in Tema Hall. The union was partnering with Stanbic Bank to attend to members' welfare needs. Negotiations for condition of service and salary seem to be the basic things unions do, and it is time to go beyond that and move into welfare issues, he said. Partnership with the bank will see over 40,000 members of the union across both public and private health facilities benefiting from mortgages, personal loans through to auto loans. Members could access unsecured personal loans up to the tune of 300,000 Ghana cedis. Stakeholders in the partnership are currently going into details across the various regions to help the bank serve beneficiaries better. Touching on COVID-19, Franklin Owusu urged members to adhere to precautionary measures at the early stages of the outbreak. The union bought sanitizers, personal protective equipment, among other things, and distributed to members. Despite these steps, some were infected and the latter lost a few of them, he revealed. He urged government to ensure health workers enjoy incentives they have been promised as they dedicate their lives to serve in the midst of the pandemic. For Secretary General of Trades Union Congress, Dr. Yauba, the partnership is a step in the right direction. He was happy the package included mortgage at a lower rate and asked members of the union to take advantage of this rare opportunity. He, however, wanted the bank to be very transparent because of some past experiences. The Trade Union Congress considers the union Stanbic deal as a pilot, and once it succeeds, it will approach the bank to extend it to its entire membership. Beyond this, Dr. Ba indicated that the Trade Union Congress is working with some insurance companies to get a life insurance package for every dues-paying member.
In some other stories, energy expert Kojo Poku says having private sector participation in the affairs of the Electricity Company of Ghana will help solve all its issues.
Speaking on Top Story on Joy FM, he said that it is essential that consumers get affordable and reliable electricity, that private sector participation will ensure that some of the challenges ECG is faced with are dealt with more efficiently. He said he had a brief spell of private sector participation through PDAs, and they saw a very huge improvement in the way ECG functions, the psychic of the employees and how they respond to faults and how they deal with customers. Private sector participation will address all the issues at ECG, Mr. Puku told Ernest Menu on Wednesday. His comment comes after the Auditor General's report uncovers some losses at ECG. The audit report revealed that ECG lost 2,649.08 GWh, which represents 24.30% of the power purchased from the power-producing companies. The report also noted that ECG incurred expenses to the tune of 182,576,235.15 cedis as a capacity charge by the Senate Energy for the 12 months in 2018. Again, it emerged that the Electricity Company of Ghana (ECG) between 2014 and 2016 procured prepaid meters and conductors worth 59 million cedis, but the machines are still locked up in the company's warehouse. However, the Auditor General recommended that the management of ECG ensure that the prepayment meters and conductors are issued out to the users. However, if they fail to do so, the amount involved should be recovered from the offices who engage in the procurement. Reacting to the 59 million cedis loss, Mr. Puku stated that the ECG had procured the meters only to later notice that they were not up to standard. He said in procurement processes, when things are ordered, they need to be inspected before they are even dispatched. He is a partner of a company that orders some from Netherlands. He traveled to Rotterdam to inspect the goods before they were shipped. That is the private sector. The public sector does this differently.
Away from that story, a 28-year-old man, Emmanuel Otribafo, who allegedly murdered his wife at Bibiani in the Western region, has been arrested by the police.
According to reports, he was apprehended at Oforikrom, a suburb in the Ashanti regional capital, upon a tip-off. The suspect, who is currently in police custody assisting in the investigation, was declared wanted for the murder of his 26-year-old ex-wife, Jessica Afi. He was attempted to take a poisonous substance, but the swift intervention of the police prevented him from ending his life. He allegedly stabbed his wife Jessica Afi dead for divorcing him at Bibiani last Friday afternoon. Report says the murdered young lady decided to divorce the suspect over a myriad of issues, but the husband begged her to stay, claiming that he has turned on a new leaf. But the lady insisted on walking out of the marriage and packed her luggage to her parents' house. The Bibiani Divisional Crime Officer Superintendent said Sawanu, who confirmed the incident, said on Thursday, August 6, 2021, around 12 noon, the suspect went to the house while the parents of the deceased were not around to attack her with a knife. The suspect, while in an exchange of words with the estranged wife, allegedly stabbed her 5 times, covered her body with clothing in a room, and absconded. The relatives of the deceased after the incident called the police on phone to inform them that their daughter had been stabbed and killed in her room. The police then visited the scene where they found the deceased in a pool of blood with multiple stab wounds but covered with clothing. Her body was conveyed and deposited at the Bibiani mortuary pending an autopsy.
We have more news coming up shortly.
Maranatha Vocational and Technical Institute, Mavotech, comes your way with varieties of courses you can choose from, be it catering and decorations, building and construction, fashion designing, electricals and electronics, beauty skincare, nail culture, and grooming make-up. Admission is in progress. You have a diploma certificate, SHS certificate, JHS certificate, a school dropout, or have no formal education. then there is no need to fear because you are accredited by the National Vocational and Technical Training Institute. Hostel facilities are also available. You can locate us at the Ayibonto in Sawim on the Dokrochewa St. Martin's Road. For more enquiries, you can contact us on 0246 026 257 or 0504 531 908 and 0243 175 295.
There is a scholarship for the first 100 students, so call now.
Mavotech, helping people to help themselves.
Maranatha Glory Hill Academy is a newly established Christian educational institution housed in a magnificent two-story modern edifice with 24 classrooms.
The school has a Montessori that admits children from 1 year to 5 years and primary 1 to 6. The staff is made up of trained teachers and university graduates. Teaching is based on GES syllabus, high Christian morals and principles. Admission is in progress at all levels.
Enroll your ward now for excellent care and tuition. We are located at Maranatha Power Ministry premises behind Lekma Polyclinic, Adegono, Nungwa.
You can call us on 0556 429 384 or 0242 535 031.
Our motto is truth, wisdom, and knowledge. Enroll your ward now for excellent care and tuition.
Welcome back from the commercial break. It's now time for business. A Deputy Minister of Finance, Dr. John Kumah, has expressed the resolve of the government to upskill the country's cybersecurity efforts to help create an enabling cyberspace for businesses to thrive.
As a result, the minister said the government would continue to partner with relevant stakeholders to ensure that businesses were protected, especially digitally. Speaking at the launch of a web and mobile app by Property Trader Limited in Accra, Dr. Kumah said digitization of the economy currently remains high on the government's agenda. For every business that is created opens an opportunity not only for employment, but reduction in poverty, thereby improving the standard of living of Ghanaians and economic growth. This is one more reason why the government will not stop at anything in its effort to ensure an enabling environment for the private sector to thrive, he said. The app Property Trader GH Web and mobile app is a new digital platform that offers users the opportunity to buy and sell, swap and exchange as well as rent and lease properties in Ghana and beyond in a safe, secured and convenient manner. The Deputy Minister said the introduction of electronic services such as the digitization of the postal services, passport services, birth registration as well as the biometric national identification card showed the government's commitment to digitize every sector of the economy. He noted that the property trading sector was bedeviled with numerous challenges including fraudulent middlemen defrauding unsuspecting home seekers, which required urgent measures to protect both buyers as well as sellers. He therefore commended Property Trade Limited for developing such a platform, which would bring sanity into the space. He further added that the launching of the app would boost the government's effort at ensuring the development of an enabling environment to support the digitization of not only the government business but the entire economy.
The Bank of Ghana has announced a partnership agreement with the German currency technology platform to pilot a general purpose
party said G+D is providing the technology and developing the solution adapted to Ghana's requirements, which will be tested in a trial phase with banks, payment service providers, merchants, consumers, and other relevant stakeholders. G+D will provide its proprietary CBDC solution known as FILIA to pilot the issuance of the digital form of Ghana's national currency, the cedi. The project is part of the Digital Ghana Agenda, which involves the digitization of the country of 30 million people and its government services. The project will be divided into 3 phases: design, implementation, and pilot. The digital cedi or eCedi is intended to complement and serve as a digital alternative to physical cash, thus driving the Ghanaian cash light agenda through the promotion of diverse digital payments, while ensuring a secure and robust payment infrastructure in Ghana. It also aims to facilitate payments without a bank account, contract, or smartphone, by so doing boosting the use of digital services and financial inclusion amongst all demographic groups. The Governor of Bank of Ghana, Dr. N.S.K.Y. Addison, said CBDC presents a great opportunity to build a robust, inclusive, competitive, and sustainable financial sector led by the central bank. From all indications, the concept has a significant role to play in the future of financial service delivery globally. This project is a significant step towards positioning Ghana to take full advantage of this emergent concept. Central banks around the world are exploring the introduction of digital money as legal tender. The Ghanaian government is one of the first African countries now entering a pilot phase. We are proud to support Ghana with our technology and expertise, Dr. Ofram Sediman, the CEO of the G+D currency technology business sector, said.
Coming up next is entertainment.
Are you stressed or depressed and need a good massage to relax your body? Then visit Vanda's Day Spa and Cosmetology. At Vanda's Day Spa, we do not only do bodily massage, but we also do other things like bodily scrub, salon services, rejuvenating, facial treatment, and many more. We also have a school which offers short courses like
wake up, makeup, pedicure and manicure, nail extension, and we have full courses in beauty therapy, hairdressing, cosmetology.
You can locate Vanda's Day Spa and Cosmetology School at Nungwa Adogono, near Odai Ayiku Street.
You can call us on 0243 816908 or 0503 353936.
You want to spend your time away, living your life in affordable luxury? Here you are with Shiloh Guest House, the nation's first best ever guest house. We pride ourselves with our superior customer service and premium rooms being meant for kings and queens. Our front style eloquence speaks for itself, and we can't wait to give you a taste of a true luxury is all about. And after a night, rest is guaranteed with a glow most comfortable bed with neat and good mattresses with twinkle surroundings and warm atmosphere. The whole family to dive in, come rain or shine. Businessmen or women, parents and kid alike, get away with the reward of free Wi-Fi. The environment beauty is uncomparable. Shiloh Guest House is just in Teshinwa Estate near A Life Junction. For further enquiries, you can contact us on 0241 972076, 0558 414718 and 0555 940 103. Shiloh Guest House, bursts and quality assured.
Welcome back into the entertainment segment on MNews. The one corner hit maker Patapaa in a video has hit back at Emirado again for taking swap at him in his beef with Obibini.
Emirado and Patapaa, we know how it can be frustrating when you try to get the attention of someone during a fight and the opponent refuses to respond with the same energy. It appears that the state Patapaa finds himself at the moment, as he seems agitated by the short Emirado fired at him in his ongoing beef with Obibini. Emirado yesterday dropped a reply to Obibini's disease diss track directed at him. This line, we believe, did not go down well with the one corner hit maker, who took to microblogging site Twitter to react angrily and issue a warning to Emirado. He posted, "Somebody tell Emirado Benan to stay in his lane and focus on climbing on his own ladder, cause it would take him more than a decade to get a hit song like My One Corner. That was a weak punch and not a diss. You suffer, sir, get some small hype. You dey come fool, Ghana we dey," he said. Just when we thought he's done, Patapaa has fired back at Emirado again despite the latter not responded to his earlier jab. In a video seen online by GHP.com, Patapaa used unprintable and swear words in an attempt to get Emirado's now expensive attention. Patapaa touted Emirado as a lockdown artist and questioned whether his name is pronounced as Amrobber or an umbrella. He added that Emirado should not try to use him for hype. However, Emirado is yet to reply to any of Patapaa's insults and criticism.
Away to the foreign front. The Australian capital Canberra is going into a snap one-week lockdown after recording its first case of COVID-19 in more than a year.
The lockdown was called for the whole of Australian Capital Territory, home to around 400,000 people, because authorities do not know how the infected person caught the virus. Residents, however, will only be able to leave home for essential reasons. Queues were reported at supermarkets as the lockdown approached. Australia is struggling to get on top of the highly infectious Delta strain, which has resulted in two of its largest cities, Sydney and Melbourne, going into strict lockdowns. Large parts of New South Wales are locked down, and in Victoria there are similar restrictions on Melbourne for at least another week. Extra military reinforcement could be called upon to ensure compliance with lockdown rules. In Sydney, the New South Wales state government said some 580 unarmed army personnel are already assisting police in enforcing quarantine orders in areas of Sydney. Despite 7 weeks of lockdown in Sydney, infections remain near their highest. A total of 345 new locally acquired cases were recorded in New South Wales on Thursday, while 2 men in their 90s died. Fewer than a quarter of Australians are vaccinated, despite avoiding the worst of the pandemic. Frustration over restrictions has led to several large anti-lockdown protests.
A recap of the major headlines.
The Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, says Health Minister Kweku Agyeman-Manu needs empathy and not chastisement. In the world of business, energy expert Kojo Poku says private sector participation will address all ECG's issues. In the foreign front, the Australian capital Canberra is going into 1 week lockdown after recording its first COVID case in more than a year.
This is where time would permit us to end the MNews. For more updates, you can follow us on Facebook and YouTube, Maranatha TVGH. Many thanks to the production team and also to my proud sponsor, Vanda's Day Spa and Cosmetology School, for my beautiful makeup. Once again, my name is Margaret Kado. Thanks so much for watching, and do stay tuned for more of our programs.